What is up, guys? It's Jake from Quad Hunting, and this is the Bears-Lions preview for the Week 14 of the NFL season. Welcome to Detroit. So this is a case of two very different teams coming at it. Lions sit right now at 8-4. The Bears are 3-9. But the Bears do hold a win over the Lions from earlier in the season. I think it was Week 3 or Week 4. The Lions were in their middle of a 1-3 stretch where they started the season off really poorly. They won in Indianapolis, then they lost to the Titans, and then the Packers and the Bears. Was it that order? Or was the Bears then the Packers? Either way, they lost to the Bears. It was a very disappointing game at the time. The Bears defense did a great job of disrupting the Lions offense in that matchup. I do think it's going to be a little different in this matchup, namely because the Bears are starting a third-string quarterback. They started Brian Hoyer in the first matchup, and Brian Hoyer did start for the Texans last year, and he didn't do an awful job. I mean, the Texans got to the playoffs with him at quarterback. Granted, defense is really strong, but still, Brian Hoyer led a team to the playoffs. And this year, they started out with Jay Cutler, and then he went down, and Hoyer got up, and then he went down. And now they're moving into this game with Matt Barkley, who's getting his third career start, I think in a row. It's fourth career game he's appeared in, because he appeared in part of the Green Bay game, Titans game, and he beat the San Francisco 49ers last week. But the San Francisco 49ers, everyone should be beating them. The Browns should be beating the San Francisco 49ers. But I don't know. It's one of those games. The Lions should easily win it. They definitely should easily win it. They should win this by multiple touchdowns, but it's the Lions. They'll come back in the fourth quarter, with one drive left. They did surprise me with the Saints. There was no preview or aftermath video of that, but it was going to be, I fully predicted the Saints to win that game. I thought it was just, we're in the Superdome. It was a number one scoring team, number one offense at least, against our defense who had been really awful all year, and we gave up 13 points. So, and our defense stepped up and picked off Brees 3 times. So that was a big improvement and something that I'd love to see moving forward. This might be a game to see that. Besides Josh Howard and Alshon Jeffrey, Jordan Howard, I said Jordan, right? And Alshon Jeffrey. I can't remember if I said Jordan. Anyways, between Jordan Howard and Alshon Jeffrey, those are the only two players I'm really scared of on the Bears offense. They're pretty depleted all around right now. They're, like I said, Matt Barkley starting at quarterback. As much as I want to crap on Jay Cutler, he's better than Matt Barkley, so I wouldn't be too concerned with Matt Barkley at quarterback. We made Brian Hoyer look like $1 million, and we made Case Keenum look like $1 million, but lately the defense has been playing good against all these offenses, so I don't know. I wouldn't put much stock into Matt Barkley this week. On the season, he's only thrown 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 51% completion, so I'm not really worried about Barkley at quarterback. That's just doesn't scare me. Now, Howard, the running back, who's come out of nowhere this year, that scares me. He is legitimate, and he is going to be a good running back for years to come. But hopefully we can contain him. Hopefully we can get a big enough lead to where he's just not, you don't keep running the ball. If you're down 2 touchdowns, you're going to pass it. So hopefully we can get up to an early lead to limit his effectiveness, because he's not going to be effective if they're not handing him the ball or throwing it to him. And the only way we can do that is force him into throwing situations where Barkley's trying to go long or trying to go up to an Alshon Jeffrey, and that's where Darius Slay can make his money. But injury wise, some players that the Lions will not be facing that they did face earlier in the year in the loss. Kyle Fuller has been on injured reserve. Kyle Long has been put on injured reserve. That hurts their offensive line and hopefully gives our resurgent defensive line a little more help. Nagata played his best game last week, and then Robinson's just been swatting balls away all year. So, those two guys in the middle should be able to do pretty well with Long out of the lineup this week. Zach Miller, their tight end, he had a decent game I think he had a good game against us. I'm not 100% sure, but I know he's out. He's been put on injured reserve. Same with Danny Trevathan. Wow. Danny Trevathan, their middle linebacker, he's out. All these guys pretty much had good games against us last time. Everyone had it. The entire Bears team had a good game against us the last time. So, and Kevin White, his second year in a row, he's ended up on injured reserve. So, those are the guys for sure will not be facing. Otherwise, they're injured injured report this week is Eddie Royal is doubtful with the toe injury. Mike Adams is doubtful with a back injury. And then you have Marquise Wilson, Josh Bellamy, Jonathan Anderson, and Jonathan Banks all listed as questionable. Jonathan Banks was a Lions player a couple weeks ago, but so was Drake Bell was a Chicago Bears player earlier this season when the Lions played the Bears. So now Bell is back with the Detroit Lions. Fun times, all these transactions, trying to keep up with them. But, the Eddie Royal is a huge one because he lit us up the last time we played. So that's definitely a big one. 4 of their top 5 receivers this year are have some sort of injury they're dealing with. Alshon Jeffrey looks like the only injury-free one. He's the only one whose name didn't show up on the Bears website as injured or on the injured reserve list. So Lions front is not as pretty. However, we're going to be without starting center Travis Swanson, who's been playing as a top 10 center this year. He has been pretty fantastic. Definitely huge turnaround from last year. Ansah is questionable again. He's been questionable every week since he's returned. He definitely doesn't look like himself. Last week and the week before, he started to see it come back a little more. Not getting to the quarterback, but causing pressure, which is good. It's what we need. But he has still no sacks this year, so it's a really disappointing year for Ansah. Injuries aside, that just shouldn't happen. You go from being the third in the NFL in sacks one season to none the next year. So hopefully that turns around and he starts getting some sacks here soon. Theo Riddick is also questionable with a wrist injury, which is a little concerning, seeing as Riddick's been our starting running back lately. But, it doesn't hurt as bad now that we know Dwayne Washington is a questionable as well. He went down in the Saints game, and it looked like it was a bad injury. However, he practiced in limited fashion almost pretty much all week this week, so it's a good thing. Both those guys questionable isn't great, but at least, we could still see both of them in the game. So Eric Ebron, still questionable from, he's been questionable. They got rid of the probable tag, so the best you can be labeled is a questionable. So Don Carey, questionable. He didn't play last week. Hopefully he gets him back this week. Marvin Jones, the quad injury is still questionable. Didn't play last week. Hopefully get him back again this week. This is the perfect game for this to happen. Tahir Whitehead also did not play, but looks pretty promising. He'll be back. And we may finally see the return of DeAndre Levy. Maybe. No one knows. No one's gonna know with Levy. It's kind of disappointing. When he was healthy the last time, he was one of the best 4-3 linebackers, and what he can do when he's at his peak. But he's played in 5 games in the last 2 years, so we definitely need that back. 5 games since he got his contract extension is the stat I saw the other day. So a lot of fans want to say he's stealing money from the Lions, just collecting a paycheck and not playing. At the same time, I don't believe Caldwell would really do that. Look at a guy like Brandon Pettigrew, who just got waived this week, who was making a big payday, was on the PUP list, the team did not deem him healthy enough, which is really surprising with our tight end situation lately. It's pretty much been Ebron, and we've been playing Anquan Bolden like a third or second tight end. We haven't really been using more tight ends for catching, besides the one. I can't remember his name right now. It's slipping my head. I didn't really plan on talking about this, that's why I didn't write it, but like Brandon Pettigrew getting cut, it was a kind of a surprising move. You thought for sure they'd keep him as the number 2 tight end at least for blocking, but they decided nope, just to move on. And honestly, they'd do that with Levy if they honestly believed he was that injured and that bad. But they're around him. We're not around him. Fans aren't around him. Fans want to talk crap about other players and how they don't have the will to play. They don't want to play. That's a bunch of bull. We don't know. We're fans. We don't see what goes on in the facilities, on the field, in the stadiums, all that kind of stuff. That is, the coaches know, the front offices know, the players know. We as fans cannot know, and I just hate the whole he's only there to collect a paycheck. He doesn't want to play for the Lions anymore. If he didn't want to play for the Lions anymore, retire. Everyone says he doesn't want to play football. He just wants to collect the paycheck, and I'm done with that conversation. I hate that conversation. I believe Levy will come back. I don't know if he'll be at the tier he was at the top end of the 4-3 linebackers, but I know he'll be close there because he's better than what we have right now on our team. So, the injuries are a little scary, but the Bears starting a third-string quarterback, I'm not too concerned. But it's one of those games. Lions could easily lose this. The offense looks a little off like they did in the first matchup. The Bears could walk away with this in a close game. If we come out looking like we did in the Saints game, we could blow them out. We need to get our red zone scoring better. I mean, the Saints game, we kicked 5 field goals. We kicked 5 field goals and won, which was a surprising thing. I thought that was definitely going to, all these field goals were good, I thought for sure we were going to be losing the game because of that. But we're not. We didn't. We won. So if the Lions can fix those red zone problems that they had last week, this could be a huge game in the Lions' favor. But gonna predict the Lions win. You know I'm going to. So it's the Bears. They're 3-9. Lions are 8-4. They are rivals. It is this division game, so it's questionable at best. But I'm gonna say the Lions are going to win 31 to 15. I'm gonna say the Bears get field goals. They're gonna get a lot of field goals in this game. Our defense has been a bend don't break defense. I believe it's gonna continue to be in that way. I'm not gonna see. I don't see it as a shootout. I don't see Matt Barkley being capable of competing in a shootout with the Lions. So yeah, 31-15. I'm gonna say that. 15 is a weird number. 5 field goals though. So and then it gets you 15. But anyways, if you like the video, leave a like, comment on it, subscribe to the channel maybe, and yeah, I'll get you guys all next time after a short message because I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head. As you've noticed, my videos have not been real regular scheduled. Some things have been kind of missing for a couple weeks, like open mics with Sammy's, the college football stuff, Lions previews and reviews, game videos have definitely been. They've definitely hit a snag, but it's the last couple weeks of the semester, or this fall semester, finals, final projects, all that junk, and just trying to push through that. I want to make these videos, but I cannot justify editing a video for my YouTube channel instead of editing a video that I need to turn in for a final project. So once the break hits, I have a bunch of footage that I could just be cranking out and just have a bunch of videos out, which I plan on doing. So thank you for being patient. Thank you for staying subscribed and interacting and all that fun junk. You guys are great. And yeah, I'm going to start cranking out more videos. So thank you. Thank you for all the junk. And yeah, I will see you guys all next time. Bye.